Welcome to today's explainer. Have you ever, kind of blacked out while scrolling on your phone and then suddenly you're staring at a confirmation email for a purchase you barely even remember making? Well, today we're decoding our primary source material, the neural architecture of impulse purchasing. We're going to uncover the exact neurological mechanics of why your brain literally bypasses logic just to hit that buy button. So, the source poses this really fascinating question right out of the gate. Why does your brain love spending money instantly? I mean, we usually write off impulse buying as just a moment of weakness, right? Like a simple lack of discipline. But our source actually challenges us to realize that our brains are literally wired to genuinely enjoy and even neurologically reward the act of instant expenditure. So keep that in mind as we start unpacking your own daily spending habits. Section 1. The urge to spend instantly. To get to the bottom of this whole thing, we've got to start at this surface layer, impulse purchasing. Now, it's defined here as a sudden, compelling urge. But I really want you to notice that word, compelling. Because, this isn't just realizing you're out of toothpaste and casually making a mental note. No way. This is a flash-in-the-pan psychological drive that hits you totally out of nowhere and just aggressively hijacks your attention. Think of this explainer as kind of a 3D documentary of your own mind, and we're starting right here with that undeniable magnetic thrill. Moving on to Section 2, the psychology behind impulse buying. This whole psychological process unfolded absolutely breakneck speed. 1, seeing the item triggers. 2, the urge, which leads directly to 3, the instant purchase. And what the source material really highlights here is that the friction between step 1 and step 3 is practically microscopic. I mean, before your logical faculties can even boot up to ask, hey, can I actually afford this? A massive surge of anticipatory dopamine has already grabbed the steering wheel and driven you straight to checkout. It is a closed loop, and it entirely bypasses rational thought. And that leads us directly to a core directive from our source. Understand why your brain loves spending money instantly. It's actually kind of darkly funny when you step back and look at it, right? Like, we meticulously build these budgets and spreadsheets and we vow to save, but our brains, they act like these evolutionary rebels. The totally friction-free, instant nature of modern digital purchasing perfectly mimics the instant reward systems our brains evolved to crave just to survive in the wild. Basically, it's a psychological thrill ride that your neurochemistry simply does not want to stop. Which brings us to Section 3, exploring the neural architecture. So what does this neural architecture actually look like under the hood? Well, we're talking about the physical and functional structure of your brain's internal networks. Metaphorically speaking, parts of this architecture, specifically the amygdala and the nucleus accumbens, they were definitely not built for modern financial planning. They were optimized over millennia for immediate survival and capturing instant rewards. So when we talk about an urge, we aren't just talking about some fleeting, abstract thought. We are talking about deeply ingrained physical pathways that are aggressively firing off neurotransmitters. Think of it like two competing highway systems inside your head, often referred to in psychology as System 1 and System 2 thinking. On one side, you have logical, planned purchasing. Now, this requires a massive amount of cognitive energy because it relies on the slower, highly deliberate pathways of your prefrontal cortex. It's like taking the scenic, winding road. But on the other side, instant, emotional impulse purchasing. That taps directly into the fast, hardwired emotional pathways of your limbic system. It's a superhighway with absolutely no speed limit. So when you hit buy on a whim, you're literally bypassing those slow, logical roads entirely. And finally, Section 4, outsmarting your own brain. So, how do we actually take back control of our wallets? Well, the source material offers a really clear, actionable framework for us. First, acknowledge the instant urge. Literally label the feeling when it hits you. Just say, okay, that's an impulse. Second, recognize the psychology behind it. Remind yourself that this is just your brain aggressively seeking a rapid dopamine spike and nothing more. And third, understand your underlying neural architecture. Know for a fact that your emotional superhighway is actively trying to bypass your logic center. By consciously mapping this out, you introduce a vital moment of cognitive friction. And honestly, that tiny deliberate pause, that is all your prefrontal cortex needs to catch up and pull the emergency brake. Which leaves us with this final thought. The very next time you reach for your credit card, or you're hovering your thumb right over that digital checkout button, will you recognize your brain's neural architecture at work? Will you be able to feel those fast emotional pathways lighting up just in time to let logic take the wheel? I really hope this explainer has given you the precise tools you need to observe your own mind in real time. Thanks so much for exploring this with me.